I like your blue background. That's a nice colour blue, nice blue.
We've got it new just for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it new, really?
No, it's probably about 30, 40 years old, to be fair.
Quite that old, but how you keep him?
I'm very good indeed. Thank
Brilliant.
you very much. Thank you for speaking to us, for getting on and saying hello. I appreciate it.
The last time we saw you at Pyros, and you came along and performed at the Pirate FM big gig, and yes, you remember it was on Plymouth Hoe, and with thousands there, and you just absolutely blew us away at the time. So that's probably the last time we sort of saw you face to face here at Pyro.
Right. Well, I was in Cornwall. Not. I mean, it probably is a long time ago now, but I've lost track of time up nowadays. I'm sort of a bit lost. But I came down there, and I can't remember where I stayed. But we rented a house, and I came down with a family, and I'd go surfing I went to surf school, and I loved it. Me and my boy, we'd get down there every morning, and we'd hose down to the wetsuits and put our thing. It was brilliant. We had the best time.
Did you pick it up quite easily?
No, he did, but that's because he was really good, and I thought I was really good, but then I saw some videos of me doing it and realised I wasn't very good at it.
I must say, though,
you know what? I haven't given up. I still try.
That's the way to do it.
Do you surf? Do any of you surf?
Do you know what? I'm a Cornish girl. We're both Cornish, and I've done every water sport other than ever surf. And I know that my balance will be awful, like awful.
There's bodyboard counting.
Yeah.
If so, I'm a true surfer.
I love a bodyboard.
I love a bodyboard, yeah.
In all fairness, you are rocking the surfer vibe with your new look.
When I went to Bali, I grew a beard, and almost not quite as good as yours there, Neil. But you know, I was
Oh, I did try.
but my beard grows a bit patchy, and it was hard to keep, and so but everything grew. I grew a beard, I grew long hair, and I'm still a little bit in that spirit, I think.
No, well, look, we've got Land of Dreams, the album, which is just amazing. You know, what's it like? Is it easier or more efficient to kind of work on an album on your own when you're not sort of part of the band? I mean, you know, where does it come to you? Do you sit down and plan, or does it just sort of come to you while you're on the go and just living life?
Because we finished a big 30-year anniversary, like 2019, kind of ish, and we knew we were going to take some time off from Take That. We knew we were going to have a break, and so and I also made a move to Los Angeles at that time as well, with my family as well. We, again, because I knew we had a break from Take That, we'd always wanted to do it, so we thought, let's go and do it now. So we moved over there, and when I think I knew that I wanted to try to make a record while I was there, because I was quite excited about making it with new people and in new places and a new studio. That is something that I was finding quite inspiring. And so, but it took me a while to sort of work out what the sound was and where I was going to go sort of musically with the record. I probably was writing for about a year, but didn't feel like I'd quite found the right sort of direction as such. And then I wrote this song called Rio, which I got really excited about really quick. Like by the evening, I was like, "We're off! It's happening!" And then the world went into lockdown.
Yeah.
So then I had this song that I couldn't record. But using that time, I found a producer. I found a wonderful producer called Jennifer DeSilvio, who's from New Jersey in America, but she lives in Los Angeles, and we talked like this, like for about 18 months of like just using our imagination, talking about the show and the kind of record we'd make and what it'd sound like and the musicians, and I was writing songs, and so I had this dialogue a lot of it came from conversation really, and I guess then just having the time to make the record was a good thing. I think it worked out to be a good thing for me, and then when we finally got the all clear to go in the studios and studios opened again, I mean, obviously we were so excited and ready to go. With most of the record had been sort of written by that point, so It was really exciting. They had to kick me out of the studio every night when I finally got in there, because the engineer there is a guy called Sean, and he was from Australia, and big like Viking guy, and every night they're going, you gotta go home, mate. in the Aussie,
You're just enjoying it so much.
I was having so much fun. He was like, I think you better go. I was like, let me just play on this piano thing for a bit. It was so great to be back in, and I think that energy came into the record, and I think that's sort of carried on probably through to what I've been doing, the live shows and the sort of we're gigging next month, and I think the sort of the set list and the show that I've been, it just all feels really exciting and good.
I think like lockdown life in general, for many performers especially, it made you really, really appreciate the luxury of being outdoors, being able to celebrate your sound, your music with the audience, with the fans, and because it was such a restricting time, wasn't it, for artists such as yourself?
One thing I did do though, is because there's a venue in Los Angeles called the Hollywood Bowl, which is a stunning venue. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's an absolute beautiful venue. It's an outdoor kind of amphitheater. And one thing I did do was I became a real fan of gigs, because I was watching, because the shows are still on because they're outdoor. So over the summers and up until like November, it was still open, and so I was watching. But so many acts there from, I was, whoever was on that week, I was getting a ticket and going to see, and just really I became an audience member and a fan, and I was watching the audience and seeing what they reacted to, and just loving that whole
it branches you out that little bit more, like you say.
It does.
You start to just really engage with what gets people up on their feet and what people sort of belong to.
And probably my highlight, because I saw so many, and I saw like Tame Impala, I don't know, they're great, and then Haim, and a local band to Los Angeles, and then everybody was Coldplay, and Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion. I mean,
so diverse. Like when you list them all, it's so
honestly
diverse.
It was everybody who was coming in. Because I just loved it. Garbage came in, Alanis Morissette came in. I was like,
wow,
like just catching everybody. But the highlight, I think, for me, like the biggest cheer, probably, if I had to, is when Black Eyed Peas went, tonight's gonna be a good night. And like
it erupted.
The whole bowl with me. Let's get it on. Tonight's the night. It was
what an amazing venue, though. Just, I mean, to have all of that on your doorstep, so it's a bit like Roach Victory Hall here in Cornwall, isn't it? But just minus the Coldplay and Black Eyed Peas.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny that you should mention Coldplay, because we're taking it back to the album as well right now. We've had a sneak peek of it. It sounds great. And I did sort of wonder, what's the inspiration? Any other artists that have sort of inspired the sound for this album?
Black Eyed Peas. Tonight.
Let's live it up. Oh gosh,
you laugh, but actually it's probably a bit true.
I love a bit of Black Eyed Peas, who doesn't? Because I think there is, there's definitely a sound of Coldplay, even Harry Styles' latest stuff. Some of your tracks have a similar sort of melody with that, I think.
First, I was a big fan of Elvis initially, and then obviously over the years I've Fleetwood Mac and Madonna, and so all the inspirations that I'd had over my life, Stone Roses, Nevada, everything that has inspired me, which are probably a lot of the acts that have inspired the bands that you talked about and the artists that you talked about, whether it's Stevie Wonder, all Prince, massive inspiration for me as I was growing up. So, and I wanted to put all those bits into this record, and I wanted to put my life in a record, and so that's big. And those artists you talk about do big things. They're not, when you're putting that into a record, you've got to think big. And I think Coldplay are probably one of the biggest bands who think bigger, you know. And Harry as well, his songs are big sounding records. And so, it's all in there. Everything I've ever heard, but especially the Black Eyed Peas. Let's get it on! The nice and nice.
You're going to be finding their LP and playing it all day after our interview. That's you talk about as well being, you know, a family man. You've got children, we've got children. And they're such a huge influence on life in general, aren't they? Your world turns upside down the minute you have children. But two
of my girls are singing on the record. Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I asked them and paid them a lot of money. No, I didn't pay them. I didn't have to pay them. I might have had to buy them an ice cream or something. So I asked Willow whether there's a song called "Comeback" that she sings on, and that was quite funny because I was trying to be the producer at home. You know, I was trying to produce so I typed out the lyrics. I was trying to take the role of producer to my daughter. And I tried to do it professionally. I typed them out. I set the mic up in the room, and I'm sat at the computer. And I was telling her, I was like, I was sort of teaching her the melody and trying to tell her what to sing. And she said, "Dad, can I just sing it how I want to sing it?" And I thought, oh well, 30 years experience here. How much experience have you had? You know, I roll my eyes. Go on then. Anyway, she did it one take.
Amazing.
That was it. Yeah. Honestly, and she did it like that. And my words to her when she finished, I went, "That'll do."
Won't let her know that she smashed out the park.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just shut me right up. Yeah.
Oh my God.
and then Fox sings on a song called "Boy," and which whenever her voice comes in, it feels really appropriate that she's singing on that song, and it makes me smile.
It's another piece of your life being
exactly.
Everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
I would love to hear about the inspiration for Magic as well.
Okay, yes. Well, I can tell you about that because I went to Nashville as my special reward to myself when I knew I'd neared the end of the record. I booked a flight to Nashville. So I turned up in Nashville, my big trip. I'd waited 2 years to go. This was it. Raining. I turned up in Nashville. My first 2 sessions got cancelled because the people I was meant to write with had COVID. And so I was sat in this grey, rainy hotel in the middle of Nashville thinking, this is not the dream. This is somewhere.
So much inspiration there.
This is not how I imagined it. It really was. Where's Elvis when I need him? Anyway, so, but I was walking through the city centre and I came across this pink hotel that is dedicated to Dolly Parton. And I thought, if nothing else, I'm staying there. And then I checked in, and in my bedroom, where I had a picture of Dolly above my bed. And my first night, I fell asleep. I had a dream, and the whole song was a dream. Like, lyrically, and Dolly was in the dream. Not in a rude way. It was a beautiful. I
like the way you had to clarify that part.
I felt like the spirit of Dolly gave me the song, and then I went in, and then give me literally. I mean, the whole thing. And then I went into my first session that I had was the next day. It was on. And I turned up and I walked into this room with this guy I'd never met before in the middle of Nashville, and I went, "I've had a dream."
Yeah.
And we did it, and like in 2 hours, I was, and I knew that's why I went to Nashville.
Amazing. We would love to play a little game with you. It's only going to take a matter of seconds.
Okay.
It's a quick fire, either or, sort of would rather questions, just to give our listeners a little bit more insight to the real Mark Owen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vinyl or downloads? There it is. That's it, isn't it?
Well, do you know what? I like the choice.
Right, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Do you have dogs?
I have 3.
Wow.
Do you want to see a picture of them? You know, you don't want to see a picture. Quick
No.
back.
No, if it's there.
Show us a
It
picture.
is here. There's a little chihuahua,
Yeah.
a birdie. Arnold's the Doberman in the middle. But yeah, that's the three of them waiting for the walk.
That's lush.
I don't think actually they're waiting for the album to come out. They've been sat in that car for about 3 years.
Not long to
Have
go.
you finished yet? Have you finished?
So dogs was definitely the answer. What about fantasy or drama? It's a reality, maybe.
Oh, I am a bit of a sci-fi fantasy. I enjoy. Yeah, I do. I quite like that. Yeah, I like that. I have dreams about Dolly Parton and magic. I mean, it's quite an obvious answer, really.
What about seaside or countryside?
I've done countryside. At the moment, I'm really enjoying seaside.
Now, obviously, once upon a time as well, I mean, you could still win the award now. Sexiest man in pop. I have to ask a little naughty question. Boxers or briefs?
Yeah,
Or neither?
I'm a brief man personally. Yeah. There was one point when I don't know what we were wearing, but I remember we had to put G-strings on it. God knows what we were doing. But
Neil likes partaking in G-string on
Only on a
day.
Friday, though.
Yeah. We were all there was one tour at some point when we were all in G-strings. So I mean, we've done it all. We've done it all.
The local killer Cornwall question here for you. You have to think very long and hard about this one, Mark, because you need to get this right. So if you were to have a cream tea on your scone or scone.
Oh, I know what you're going to ask me. Jam first or cream first? That's what you're going to ask me, isn't it?
Which one?
Is that what you're going to ask me?
Yeah.
Well, we had a whole conversation about this. I have this conversation quite a lot.
Do you?
Yeah,
It's a big
I do.
question.
Because I like the look of the cream on top of the jam. Like, aesthetically, you put your jam on and then you put your cream on, it kind of looks more appetizing.
Your answer, jam first.
Yeah.
Tonight
That's right.
good night.
Good night.
Hey! You are right.
Oh, I'm so glad that's
Oh,
right. Because honestly, it's caused me a bit of stress.
Look, Mark, it's been amazing speaking to you. And so Land of Dreams is the album. We're going to play Magic shortly. And it is a fantastic album. As Safi said, we'd had a little sneak preview of it. And
Bless you.
it is just amazing. It's great to have you back. And
Thank you for listening.
Oh, no, it's been an absolute joy.
Yeah, real pleasure. Do you want to introduce Magic for us?
Yes, I would love to. Hello there, this is Mark Owen, and I would like... Oh, start again. Okay. I was thinking, how can I get pink Dolly Parton? I was trying to get the whole thing. Hello, everybody. This is Mark Owen, and this is my new song, Magic. That was very unmagical. That was very unmagic. But there you go. Yes. Thank you. Bless you. Nice to see you.
Oh, good luck with it all.
Thank you. See you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.